welcome back. A very quick break, and we are here for your Feel Good Breakfast Show, offering you something absolutely great. It is a Tuesday, which means we're talking about relationships. It is one of my favorite topics because I always just take tips on how to be a better person and show up better within a partnership, whether that's friendships or even a man and a woman. But let's talk about breaking up. The opposite side of that. How do we navigate this? How do we get around it? What do we say? How do we bring it up in conversation when we've reached the end of a season and a journey?
Sure.
It's a tough one.
We have to dive straight in there. Hey, we're going to go straight in there.
0 to 100.
So this is why it's important for us to bring in some very, very important experts.
True.
And it's not often that you get a love pastor and somebody who is an expert in when it comes to mediation in divorce, as well as family therapy, which is important. So we've got a love pastor and we've got Daniela on the couch to make sure that we know how to break up with people. Okay, what we're not advocating for it in a way, but we are advocating for an environment that I think is going to be quite important for us to maintain respect between both parties, and that you can actually find the barriers you need to get what you want, which inevitably is happiness.
Yes.
And we've got the two happiest people in the world on the couch.
Welcome.
Look at them.
Thank you for
Thank you so
being
much.
here.
Thank you so
Sure,
much.
it's a tough subject to navigate, I think. You know, once you feel like you've reached the end of a beautiful, maybe not so beautiful season, how do I even raise this topic? Because I know a happier version, as Carl said, of me is on the other side of that. So when it comes to breaking up, where do we begin?
I think that it is so important to realize that there is no point in living a life of unhappiness.
Yeah.
That doesn't serve you, it does not serve your partner. And something that I like to focus on is that if you ever had love for this person and you ever actually wanted success or happiness for them, if you're not in the relationship, you're actually doing them a massive disservice by staying in it, because what you're doing is you're preventing them from finding their happiness. So often we think that I don't want to hurt the other person, and it's going to be a disaster for them and shame. The point is, if you stay in that shame, because they deserve to thrive, you deserve to thrive. And I think everybody needs to be in that space where they can actually fulfill their happiness.
Yeah. You know, I want to talk to the fact that it's actually reframing empathy. Because in your head, you're thinking, but what about their family? I'm so close to them. What about the dog? What about the fact that we have a joint bank account?
Right. Yeah.
What happens? Like, there's so many complications that we put ahead of this decision that could actually be key for our happiness. And we show that empathy to everything else but the feelings that we have for ourselves. And love pastor, I just want to, I want you to jump in here. That kind of negotiation in the process. You know, how do we start navigating that process? How do we say to ourselves, I am more important than all of these things around that is going to be inconvenient if I break up with this person?
I think the most important thing is to ensure that a breakup maybe has been termed wrongly.
Yes.
It is a situation that no longer feeds who you are, contributes nothing to who you are becoming.
Yes.
And it does not bring out the best in you. So you are not breaking up. You are letting somebody find what will work for them.
Sure.
And we've termed this breakup, and I don't think breakup is the right word.
It does seem negative, doesn't it?
It does seem negative.
Yeah.
So immediately when you do not focus on what went wrong, but you focus on who you want to be and how you want to navigate the space of love, it stops celebrating, because a breakup celebrates what did not work.
Yes.
You know, but when you leave this person by showing them that this is who I am, this is my anatomy, this is where I want to go, and this is neither contributing to what I want and who I want to become. And because of that, you are not a bad person. You are not a bad person. I need to greet you when I see you tomorrow. But who I want to be and where I want to go cannot be served while I'm here.
Wow.
I like that.
How about communication? I mean, it's the big C that we always bring up when it comes to relationships. They say it's the key to keep it lasting and going. But when it comes to going your separate ways, how important is communication in that?
I mean, as we always say, communication is key.
Yeah.
What I want to add is another C, which is closure. And this is a massive concept that we need to discuss, because what I find, especially in the divorce realm, and we're dealing with kids here where families break up and we've got children who are left on the sidelines, is that when we can break up in a positive way, where we can communicate what went wrong, why it doesn't work for the family system anymore, what we're really doing is we're giving our partner closure, the opportunity to understand where we're coming from. And I find so often the toxicity of a breakup comes from those unanswered questions. And that is where the ego has no choice but to overreact because we don't know why. So communication, even in a breakup, especially in a breakup, is probably even more important because that is going to pave the way forward. And if you can communicate the breakup in an empathetic space, in an emotionally intelligent way, where everybody understands why and where to, we can enjoy a relationship of some sort going forward. And this is so important, especially if you have to co-parent going forward.
You know that there are, of course, different versions of a breakup that I think it's important for us to discuss, and also the side effects thereof. So, I mean, you get a digital breakup, I'm going to call it that, where someone drops you a WhatsApp and says, cheers.
It's over.
All right, you get another version where somebody sends a certain emissary to go over and say, don't think it's going to work out, David. You should go and do your own thing. There are versions where it's face-to-face, where there's mediation. We have so many versions of breakups. So let's discuss a very popular one within this day and age, which is somebody sending through a text because they're worried about the confrontation, love pastor. They don't want to see the person's face. They don't want to see their reaction. They're worried about whatever happens to them in that moment, and they drop a text saying, can we talk? I don't think it's working.
That's very cowardly.
Well, you know, it happens so often. And let's talk about the side effects of that.
The side effects of that is realizing that I can never be in charge of you. I can never be in charge of your mental space. I can never be in charge of how you see things. I can never be in charge of how you respect me.
Yes.
Because dumping you via a WhatsApp message has got a lot of disrespect. But then again, one needs to look back, what kind of a relationship were we having?
That's also true.
Oh.
What kind? Because it is the kind of relationship that will determine how we break up.
Sure.
You know, but if we've had a relationship where we are talking, the end of the relationship can never be a reflection of something else. It will be the reflection. How it ends is a reflection of how it began, how it continued, and how it ends is just a continuation. Wow. So when we question the WhatsApp breakup, we should in fact be saying, what preceded that? You know, so what is very important is to realize, even if that happens, I am not in charge of who you are. I can only influence, you know, and I am only in charge of me. And I need to realize when I've been dumped in that way, I need to find for myself. Because if you closed communication, I'm still left on my own to navigate life on my own. So I need to find out what it is. You know, that I can change about me. How can I better myself? How can I make sure that in my next relationship, I am not treated this way? Because you teach people how to treat you.
Yeah, that personal responsibility is great. Here's a spanner. What if I'm a great communicator on WhatsApp or on text? I mean, it's still communication. Is it still cowardly for me to use that approach?
It's very cowardly.
You still think so? Okay.
It's very cowardly.
Okay.
There are things in a relationship that will only make sense when I look you in the eye.
Okay.
Because in the text, there is no emotion. In the text, there is no tone. But when I look at you and I express my heart, there is something beyond words. Where we can hear the words, but we can resonate with the feeling behind the words. And what you are denied from the text is the genuineness that comes with the emotion and the connection. Because it's a way of deep respect and taking you in high regard. To take the time out and to say to you, Larissa, this is not working.
Okay. I got another curveball for you, since you're on the WhatsApp topic. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do curveballs on this. What happens if this person's justification for the WhatsApp connection and to break up in that way is that whenever you end up in the space with them, you end up fighting? And now they're saying that the only way I can do this peacefully is if I drop you this WhatsApp message or the voice note. And I say, I'm sorry, this is not working. I can't handle the fact that every time there's always something that triggers either one of us and we start fighting. I don't want that to happen. I actually want us to be on good terms, and that's why I'm using on WhatsApp. I'm sorry for the curveball, love pasta, but you can handle it.
Right.
Look, what is important is to ensure that we grow with everything that is thrown at us. You know, it's very important to realize that as much as you would want to communicate that way, we can reach a compromise where I say, I promise not to go there. I just want to listen to you. I'm not guaranteeing that the other person is going to allow it.
Okay.
You know, but then again, it is important that you find your own healing. People don't owe you your healing. People don't owe you your recovery. If you've been thrown that curveball,
yes,
you need to find a way to reconcile with yourself and pick yourself up by the strap of your boots and make sure you carry on.
Wow.
I want to throw a curveball back at that one, if you don't mind.
More curves.
Another curve.
Okay, hold on. Can you hold the curve?
Absolutely.
You know why? Because I like a bit of anticipation on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And I'm changing your name to WhatsApp Pasta. So, there are many. In fact, Daniela's got a bit of a curveball with regard to the WhatsApp conversation. We're going to continue that. If you have anything to add, 063 408 8863. Coincidentally, we're asking you for a WhatsApp. If you have any questions to our panel, and we'll be right back with more when it comes to relationships after these.
Don't break up with us, okay?
Now, please stay there. We love you.